I'm Alyssa.
And I'm Mike.
Welcome back to the A&M podcast.
I want to share. I did receive an award recently.
Oh.
Best dad ever. So,
no, yeah.
Pretty proud.
You've always received that award.
Yeah. Anyone else who was in competition, sorry that you didn't win. But I got the mug to prove it.
So today's St. Patty's Day. Happy birthday to Brandon.
Happy birthday to Brandon. Little John. Ooh. Little John.
There's a lot going on this morning right now. Okay.
Wow. That's Cooper saying happy birthday.
Happy birthday as well. Yes, so, everybody is excited.
Yeah.
So, do you want to? We're talking about what I'm talking about, right? We're talking about.
Yeah.
Mike. Okay.
Sorry, I needed a sip. I had some throat issues going on.
Ouch. Okay, so today we're going to talk about TV.
Yeah.
And the program. So, well, you said you had a different approach with like the shows.
I do, but talk about your aspect of it first.
Mine is just to talk about the difference between like. Oh, there I go again.
What? Oh, so side note.
Address that?
Yeah, we should address that first, I think. So side note, we take listener feedback very seriously here at the A&M podcast, and we happen to on our YouTube channel, I believe. Mm-hmm. We got a comment from somebody about.
We had our first hate comment.
Yeah, thank you, and the thing that I think the Little John would have been more appropriate there, but anyway.
True. Because that was my reaction.
And there I did it. We had our first.
Now we're stumbling over our words. Look what you've done to us.
Yeah, you've destroyed us. So the comment was, try to stop using try to use these words less often. There was some other.
Like I feel like.
Like I feel like. And to that point, it would have been like, okay, that's what I would call constructive criticism.
Yeah, and we love that.
You're giving us critique that will help make us better at what we do, which I'm just not sure what that is. But anyway,
yeah.
But they added at the end something that took away the constructive part of the criticism. They said it makes you sound uneducated, which I found that humorous.
First of all,
yeah. So now we're going to attack that. No, we're not going to do that. We got a giggle out of that, I think.
So the thing is that's just how I talk. And if you don't like it, I hope that one day you learn to love it.
Also, watch your average professional. I didn't there. Watch your average professional, news broadcaster or commentator, any of those, and they do that. It's natural. And somebody who's suggesting, there we go, that doing that makes you sound uneducated is overcompensating, I think, for something on their own part. But let's leave that there, and let's get into the topic.
Thing is, we are going to try and work on it, but no promises.
Yeah.
Period. So we are talking about the difference between how TV used to be back in the day versus the shows going on now. Oh no.
No, it's fine.
There you go.
Yep.
So shows back in the day, meaning shows such as
that's why I'm going to have a different
shows such as
because your back in the day and my back in the day are different, which is part of the
podcast. My back in the day is your back in the day. So shows such as Full House and Cosby Show.
There you go.
You're trying Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Right. There you
those type of shows.
You're talking about just your average sitcoms.
Your good wholesome sitcom versus the shows that we got now. My Strange Addiction, My 600-Pound Life.
Yeah. So
they didn't have shows like that back in the day. People weren't watching that TV back in the day, but somehow now we're watching shows like what's that? What's that show? That reality show that's out where it's the rich women of like
Oh,
Los
like
Angeles. What
yeah,
is it called?
housewives, all
How,
those housewives. I can't.
yeah.
I constantly wonder to myself, and if you're somebody who watches those, don't take offense to this,
No
but
shade. We all have
I
our
I
thing.
constantly wonder who watches that stuff. Like who watches that stuff? Because the the thing to me is that's what you're talking about is the difference between like scheduled comedy shows like
Mhm.
sitcoms, that kind of thing,
Mhm.
and reality TV, which is a little different than my take on it. So my take on it I'll get
True.
into a little later, but I don't know when that switchover
That
happened.
switch
I
over. Yeah.
know the one thing I heard is that it's a lot cheaper for them to produce reality TV shows than it is to produce like
Because they don't need a
regular
whole
TV.
set.
Right. They don't need a set. They don't need I don't think there's real well, there probably are writers, but it's not, because they're not writing scripts allegedly.
But the sets, you normally you would have an audience who
Right.
wouldn't they pay to get there?
No,
Or
no.
no, they
You didn't
wouldn't.
pay to get into TV shows. No.
To
They're
be
free
a live
tickets.
audience?
Yeah, they're free tickets. They give you service.
Really?
Yeah, I went.
Who's free
We
tickets?
went to
Mm.
see Miracle Jimmy and I a long time ago when David Letterman was still doing the Tonight Show, or not the Tonight Show, the late night.
Mhm.
Um, Back when those late night shows were still funny. Uh,
Mhm.
we went to see him, David Letterman, once in New York. That was cool.
Mm.
Yeah, they just give them. You just have to request them, but they give them away.
Like first come first serve.
Yeah, that kind of thing. And depending on the
Oh,
show, there might be like long waiting lists, to get them. But
interesting.
yeah, but
Oh, so
I
I guess they're
think
not making money off of it, but they could.
yeah, no, but it's just the cost of production. When you're paying like actors to be on those shows, like think of somebody like Tim Allen. He's got a new show. Have you seen his new show?
I haven't, but
It's
I
good.
wanted to
It's
watch
good.
it.
It's like all his
His,
shows.
yeah,
All his shows are good.
yeah.
Um, but somebody like that, they get paid a high salary. Really, any
Mm,
any of the actors on those shows get paid a salary. Where I
true.
think the people on the reality TV shows, and I mean when I'm talking about things like, let's say something like Survivor.
Yeah,
Yeah, you got the host on there they're paying, but most of the people that are on that show,
it's a volunteer
they're yeah,
situation.
the only money they're gonna make is if they're the winner.
But I heard so. Um, okay, so what do you think about the dating shows,
I don't.
like the Love Is Blind and stuff?
Yeah, I don't. I'm not.
So I heard those people they get paid, but they get paid a very small amount, which makes sense because at the end of the day, though, they can't pay those people that much.
Right.
Where it basically, if they pay them too much, then people are just going on those shows for the money. They're
Oh,
not
true.
going on those shows for
True.
the genuineness. I think it's bad
I
enough that people go on those kind of shows anyways, just to get a little bit of fame and get their name out there.
yeah.
And people are so obsessed with social media following and being an
Yeah.
influencer and all that. So I
Yeah.
think people already go on those shows just to be famous. Cooper, are you serious? We're filming a podcast.
You can't control.
Uh,
You can't control. Cats are tough enough.
if that's
They'll
triggering
walk
for
right through the
anyone,
screen, but yeah.
please don't
This,
turn this
hopefully
off.
the squeaky toy isn't audible.
It's pretty
It's
audible on my end.
definitely going to be audible, but just ignore it. I do.
Uh,
But the the um the dating show thing, like I feel like when those shows first started,
uh-huh.
like the first, you know, the first season of The Bachelor, maybe the first two seasons of The Bachelor,
Yeah.
there might have been people that were genuinely there because they were trying to, meet someone.
Yeah.
After that, it's just become people who want the temporary fame
Yeah.
of the, because let's be honest, no one no one is actually going into that because they think they're gonna meet their life mate or anything like that.
There was a couple on Love Is Blind who did meet each other, but it was season 1, and they're still together,
Well,
seemingly happy. So who
seemingly,
knows?
but that's why it said before, like that those allegedly don't have writers. I think there are writers on those, and I think a lot of it is scripted.
Well, so what people have come out from the Love is Blind one specifically is that they they don't tell you what to say, they don't write for you, but they put you in situations that they stimulate
Unrealistic situations.
situations
Yeah,
basically.
that's I believe
They'll
that.
basically say to one person, I don't know, they stir things up. They stir things
Yeah,
up and they put you in scenarios where you have to address certain situations, or they'll try and make you talk about a certain situation or
yeah.
things
I
like that.
I think a lot of that
Like they
reality
set it
TV
up.
is that way, though. I think what they write as a reality isn't really. It's
Hmm.
it's it's augmented reality. It's like they're doing things to it to make it more interesting, more like with a lot of
True.
those shows. You'll notice that they always, when they're going to a, not when they're going to a break, but when it comes to the point where like a commercial's coming, there's always some big, something dramatic that happens. And I'm also thinking about things like some of the HGTV shows, like
Hmm.
what was the one with the couple and they split up? And
John and Kate plus 8.
no, the HGTV. I'm not talking about that. That was that was a dumpster fire. That show, but but no, the one
um.
Tarek and
Oh yeah, yeah,
Christina,
yeah, yeah.
that show. I can't remember.
I can't remember the name
Flipper
either.
Flop, Flipper Flop. On that show, it would be like every time right before it was a commercial, it was like, "Oh my gosh, the ceiling's falling in," and then they'd get back from the commercial, and it was just like, "Oh no, it's fine."
But that's
You
just
know what I
like
mean?
those
It's
those
just
baking shows.
yeah,
I was watching it the other night. Is it Cake? And they
I don't
always
know. You tell me.
on those baking shows, they always do it where it's like a minute and a half left and it
Yeah,
just shows everybody like this person
yeah,
has half of their cake done and they're still putting all the finishing touches and they have 30 seconds and it's counting down and someone's running in circles in the kitchen.
yeah, yeah,
They always make it look real chaotic and
yeah.
stressful. Like, oh my gosh, she doesn't even have the icing on her cake yet. She has 30 seconds
she's
left.
she's still beating eggs over there. What's
Yeah, but obviously, I don't think it's really that crunch time
yeah,
as they make it
yeah,
sound,
yeah.
but
Yeah,
I mean, maybe
it's
it
all
is. Who
it's
knows?
all
I'm not there,
editing.
but
It's all editing. That's why we don't
it's all
edit.
editing.
That's why we don't edit, because this is
Yeah.
the closest thing to reality TV you're gonna see. Unscripted, we don't edit, and yeah, we say occasionally.
We have dogs in the background,
Yeah,
babies
squeaky toys, right?
sometimes. There might be a
Right.
cat that walks across here
Yeah.
every once in a while. He's sitting over there right
Yeah,
now,
he's
the live
he's he
audience,
it, him. Yeah, right.
with his free live audience
Yeah,
ticket.
that's right.
Um, but yeah, those shows, I like those shows. I love a good baking show. But I also think that that's why, those reality shows, the My 600 Pound Life, which is crazy by the way, that's even just a documented reality show, but
Yeah,
whatever. Um, those kind of shows, they're just kind of
yeah.
nobody's really watching it like I can't wait to see the next episode. Oh my
Right,
gosh, when's the next
right.
episode? But you know what Brandon and Nicole watch a lot that they always talk about? They try to get us to watch it. It's gosh, what is it? Love After Lockup.
Oh
They
my
watch Love
gosh,
After Lockup religiously. And
that's a little weird.
it's literally about people having relationships with people who are in jail or prison or whatever.
Yeah,
And there's literally dating sites for a normal person like you or I that's living free in the world to go onto and communicate with a prisoner. It's a dating
that's
site.
wild. Well, that's
And that's how they meet them. And then they get out. And some of the stories are crazy. And Brandon and Nicole do watch that, like, can't wait
like
to see
they
the next
can't wait to
episode.
see. Yeah, wow,
What's going to happen
that's
next? This person, like, they're talking about it in real conversations. Like,
wow. That's yeah. I don't know. I can't get that invested. I think your mom watches more of like that reality TV type stuff, or used to. I don't.
or like
Maybe she
90
doesn't
Day
anymore.
Fiance, where you marry somebody
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like
overseas.
I I can't get into this. I think because it's so like if I'm watching something that's fake, I want it to be intentionally fake. I don't want it to be
Oh yeah.
fake pretending to be real.
Yeah.
You know,
But I
I'd
think
much rather watch. Plus, I'd much rather be watching one of two things: something that's either gonna make me laugh or
yeah,
like action stuff.
I agree.
Because at least action stuff's like
I have been watching
you might get a squeaky dog
I
in
like a
action
good
stuff.
crime show. I've been watching on Netflix this show called Adolescence. I think it's new because I'm pretty sure it only has 4 episodes, but it's about a 13-year-old boy who killed his classmate, and they're trying to find out if it was really him or if like his friends had something to do with it as well. Pretty good so far.
Yeah,
Adrian calls them like grown-up shows, like, oh, you're
yeah,
watching a grown-up show. But
yeah,
because most of the time I do like a nice, I like watching The Office. I like watching Seinfeld.
yeah.
I think there's a reason that all of those older shows, just
It's still
as
popular.
old as they are, yeah, they're still popular
I
and
know
there's still
because
something you could watch from episode 1 to the last
yeah,
episode.
I was thinking the other day too about like sitcoms, and I
Yeah.
feel like there's I now again I highly recommend the
The
Tim
Tim
Allen
Allen,
one.
that's like the only one, yeah.
It's called Switching Gears. That's what it's called.
Where is that?
ABC, ABC.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
like
it's
a new episode every
yeah,
week type
yeah,
of
but it's
thing.
also I think it's on Hulu too. Like if yeah,
Because I saw
yeah,
an ad for it
yeah.
somewhere.
And and the other one that's a newer one that's good is Abbott Elementary. That one's pretty good too.
Love Abbott
Yeah, that one's pretty
Elementary.
good. That one's got kind of the Office vibe, but it's
Yeah, like the
they
awkward
actually
vibes.
yeah they had an episode a couple of weeks back that was it was like a crossover with It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, which was kind of funny
Yeah,
too. Plus there's all the I like that because of all the you know Philly
yeah,
Philly notes
the
to it.
little
It's kind of like
shout
kind of like
out.
the Scranton notes that you always used to get in the office. Was kind of
Yeah,
funny.
yeah.
So
No, I like those kind of shows, and I'm surprised they. That's what I'm saying. I'm surprised they wouldn't just keep coming out with those shows,
yeah.
regardless of the budget.
Well, yeah. It's what are you going to get people to watch for a long time? And I guess if people are watching those other shows that you're talking about, and a lot of those are like the streaming shows too.
Yeah.
But not that's just not my
But if you think about it too, people don't really watch TV even the same way. We've talked about it before.
right.
People don't really watch TV the same as they used to either. Families don't really gather around the television at night,
No, yeah, 8 o'clock on yeah.
they don't really do that
Yeah.
most of the time. It's
There's no more TGI. Remember TGIF from like ABC back in the you don't probably don't remember that.
not really, yeah.
It was like their Friday night shows. It was like I think Full House was one of them, and it
Mhm.
was like they and same thing with Seinfeld, Seinfeld.
Seinfeld,
They
yeah.
used to call it like appointment TV. You know,
Yeah. Yeah. Like even, I mean, I feel like I talk about it all the time, even kids with cartoons.
right?
Kids don't watch
Ah,
cartoons anymore.
and,
Like
and
we're always saying to them like, stop watching the YouTube shorts.
yeah,
Turn on some regular
yeah,
cartoons. Stop with
yeah,
the YouTube shorts.
and
Make
like
it stop.
even when I was a kid, I remember like there was nothing better than get up on Saturday morning. You'd go get a bowl of Captain Crunch, and you'd sit in front of the TV and you'd watch like Bugs Bunny
No.
and all
Now
of
they
those.
wake up and they turn on YouTube shorts and it's just like
Yeah,
TikToks,
yeah.
basically. Now, the thing is,
By the way, we love the YouTube Shorts. No, no, no hate on YouTube Shorts.
tune in actually just
Yeah,
and that's how, yeah, how can I rig my TV to only play
yeah.
A&M podcast YouTube shorts?
That would be hilarious if like every time they went on to try to watch it, it was
YouTube, it's
just
just
ours.
me. But
Let me work on that.
but yeah, like they don't really, they'll watch like Bluey's, like
Yeah,
a Bluey kind of cartoon, and
yeah,
when I see that on, I'm like, okay, peace.
yeah, yeah.
I feel calm. Those YouTube shorts, they make me anxious. And you know what? It's
Right?
just like scrolling on TikTok, but
Yeah,
not the same. It's not
yeah.
the same.
No, because sometimes that when the kids are over
Yeah.
and they have them on, I'm like, it actually does. It gives you anxiety because they're so like
And
I don't
sometimes
know.
if they're not paying attention to it, I forget what it was the other day, but like they won't pay attention to it, so it's just like they have to hit next.
Yeah.
So it'll just be the same song
Oh, it keeps repeating.
like
Oh,
10
jeez.
times
Ugh.
over that you're like,
Yeah.
shut
No.
it off.
Yeah. You know. Oh, I forget what I was gonna say. Darn it.
YouTube Shorts.
Oh yeah, no, it was you were talking about like that kind of stuff. That's like Ollie's been here the past couple days and he's watching. He's really into Blue's Clues, but they show him like the old
Cute.
school Blue's Clues, which are the good
Oh yeah.
Blue's. I actually haven't seen the current one, but
Yeah.
like the old school ones are so classic. And,
Yeah.
it's good like seeing him watch those.
The one day I turned on Fairly Odd Parents.
Oh,
I was like, watch this. This is a
so
good cartoon. Trust me.
how about this? So I put on Paramount Plus last night to watch 1923, the
Yeah.
latest episode of 1923. And apparently on Paramount Plus, there's like a sequel series to The Fairly Odd Parents.
I think I heard something about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But
So I don't know how I feel about it. I haven't watched any of it. I just off the bat, I have kind of a bad feeling about it that it's going to be a modernized in a bad way version because everything today
that's what
is
I was
like,
going to say. I don't like the thing is, I think that these, I don't know, companies need to realize is it would be like them because they're also supposed to have something about The Office coming out, some new thing about The Office, and I heard that one of the actors from the original Office said that they would be in it or something. I don't know enough about it, but I don't like when they do take older shows and try too much to, oh, people loved this back in the day. Let me just
right.
make a modern day version of it and upgrade it. No, I don't
Yeah.
like that because there was a reason it was so popular back in the day. You're taking it now and trying to put a new twist on it. And I think sometimes you should just make a whole new, use a new idea.
Yeah.
Get a
Yeah.
new idea. Because
Well,
that
yeah,
used
and,
to be a new idea and it was successful. Now you're trying to redo it.
and I think of something like that Abbott Elementary is an example of that. Like it's a similar
oh,
series,
right.
but it's a whole new concept, a whole new group of
Yeah.
people, that whole thing. So I think that's
Same vibe that people
yeah.
liked. The
I think the
the
thing is when you
awkwardness of The
really like
Office.
it, like a show, and you like the cast on it and
Yeah.
and the chemistry between the cast and all that,
Mm-hmm.
you want to see that continue. That's why people that's why there's demand for that kind of thing. I guess
Right.
is the way to put it.
Right.
And every now and then I don't think it's bad too to do like a the where are they now kind of thing to show like hey what happened to them after the end of the series, the characters, not the actors but the characters, that kind
Yeah.
of thing I think is kind of neat to do,
Oh,
but
kind
that
of
can
like
also get like
like a reunion
yeah
special
yeah
type of
that
thing.
kind of thing. But my take on what you initially had said about TV now versus back in the day,
Mhm.
I always have noticed like the difference between like they're not the shows that not well I guess some of the shows growing up when I was a kid too, but like the old school TV shows like the from the 50s and 60s like the Brady Bunch or Leave It to Beaver or those those kind of shows from like the the old the ones that I would watch when I was homesick sick from school,
Urkel.
and it was like no Urkel's your version of old school. I'm saying
Is it really? That's
yeah. I mean
not
I'm
that
talking
old?
about like that's from the maybe early 80s. Um, but but like those shows and how they presented parents
Hmm.
versus shows in like probably more my young adult era. Oh, excuse me.
But
Sorry.
wasn't it Brady Bunch that they had the parents sleeping in like separate beds,
I
like
think
two twin beds next to each other?
no, I think you're thinking of like I Love Lucy. I Love Lucy. I think they slept in separate
So
beds. I think in the Brady Bunch they
funny.
slept in the same bed, and but it was like one of the first shows where they portrayed that on TV because most of the shows before that uh, when they would like show the parents' bedroom, it was that kind of thing where it was like
Why did
separate
they do
beds.
that? Was it actually
I
like that at some point in real life, or do you just think they didn't want
I
like
don't know.
like
The
that on
idea of
TV,
the idea of being an adult and sleeping in a twin bed to me is just
right next to like your
yeah,
wife.
kind of crazy. Right,
The
right.
nightstand in the
Like,
middle.
all right, good night, dear.
Yeah.
Um, but but like the
Like,
way
why are we sleeping in here like siblings?
yeah, but the way parents were portrayed on like those kind of shows, you know, versus like say the shows from like the 70s and 80s even. You know, it like the dad on the Brady Bunch or Leave It to Beaver or any of those shows was like, they were presented as the person that you went to with questions and problems, and they knew everything, and they were,
Yeah.
and then I think of like shows in maybe like the 80s, like Married with Children, where the dad was just a big dolt, or like The Simpsons, Homer Simpson, or that
That's
kind of thing.
funny. I never
You
thought of
know,
that.
they present parents a whole lot differently, and as a parent,
Oh,
I
even in
find
Fairly
I'm
Odd
offended by that.
Parents,
Yeah,
the dad
exactly.
was
Yeah, he was goofy.
silly.
Yeah, he was
Or
goofy.
what's that? Modern Family.
Modern Family, right?
Phil.
Right. Or Jay.
I love Jay.
Yeah, that's a good.
That's
That's
a
an example.
good
But see that now
show.
to me, that's a perfect example of a show that I think it had the perfect run. Right?
Yeah.
You would never want to try to keep that show going longer than it did, because I think it accomplished its story. And when you try to drag them on longer, or it's like with Friends, right? Friends had a good run. Oh, that's coming back. Did you see that?
Friends?
It's some like it might be like a limited series thing they're gonna do. It's Cooper. I don't think he's been on, other than barking. I don't think he's been on the podcast yet.
Hey, buddy.
But some sort of a limited run related to like Chandler's death or something like that.
You know how I feel about Friends, so.
Yeah, I know you're not a fan. I kind of want to see it. I think it's gonna be on like HBO or something, so I probably won't see it because I don't subscribe to HBO.
Oh, I have HBO.
Oh, well then I'll get your login.
That's how I watch White Lotus.
Yeah.
So I think like those shows, that's what I'm saying. Like they didn't really have those kind of shows back in the day, but they still, I don't know, those are still shows that it has a good storyline, and it's not a reality show necessarily, but
Right.
hold on, let me put the dog down.
Yeah, put him back.
But I think that reality TV, probably since, I think Keeping Up with the Kardashians, really.
Yeah, you think that's where it went bad?
That's when people just were like, wait, people like to see what we're doing? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's find all of these rich families and just follow them around and
what?
see how they live. And
I think the problem with that is it presents people like that in this really odd light, that it looks like, yeah, they clearly have problems, because that's why people watch it, to see their problems and all. And maybe that's it. Like, yeah, they've got all this money, but they still have problems. Maybe that's why people watch it.
well, I think it also just lets people into, they know that people like to see what celebrities are doing, and that's where they always had celebrities in magazines and all that stuff with their drama.
Right.
Then they amped it up one level to, oh, let's do a reality TV show on them.
Yeah.
And now you're having this whole different access to celebrities that you didn't have before, when they have things like a reality TV show. Because I guess they weren't really the first one. There were others. Like, remember when the Osbournes? Remember when that was a thing?
Yeah.
That was before.
Sharon! Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
But I
they
feel
had a
like they weren't
show.
even the first ones. I wonder who the first, like,
There was
celebrity
Meet the
reality
Barkers with
show-
Travis Barker, that
Barkley.
drummer from
Oh, nothing.
Blink 182.
Oh, okay.
Him and his wife, they had a show.
What was
There
the
were
one?
other,
Remember,
because they were all on MTV at that point, remember?
Yeah.
Like, that's where a lot of those.
Remember Rev Run?
Rev Run.
That was actually a good one. That show was actually good.
That was a good one.
That was a good show.
So, like, a lot of those celebrities, it
Yeah.
wasn't just the
And-
Kardashians, but
And it was kind of the same thing of like, look how great
oh wow, they're living in this nice
look at that
house, and
house,
they can
yeah.
do whatever they want, and
yeah.
buy whatever they want.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying though too. Is I feel like some of that with the celebrities is like it creates this idea in people's minds of, man, that's how I want to live. So that's why they watch it.
Yeah.
Like they watch it for either they're trying to live vicariously through through those people.
Yeah. But, and I used to watch it when I was younger, but
Right.
older now, you know,
When I turn the TV on, I want to be entertained.
I'm watching it for a little more substance than
Yeah.
just, watching it. Otherwise, I'll just be on my phone,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
because,
that's the other challenge today too, though, right? And you had talked about this a little bit about
mhm.
like you had to watch it at 9 o'clock on Thursday night versus I can watch it whenever. Like a good example to me is two shows I'm watching right now. Um, Daredevil Born Again, which is a Disney Plus show,
Yeah.
and 1923, which is on Paramount Plus,
Mhm.
and both of those come out a specific day of the week, but then you can watch
Oh,
them
yeah.
anytime. They drop one episode a week, but you can watch that episode whenever you want to. So, like,
Yeah.
1923, I think Brandon said it drops at midnight on Sunday. So,
Yeah.
anytime Sunday, or Monday, or whenever, I can watch
But
that.
you don't have to be there on Sunday
Right.
to watch it.
Right.
Like,
I don't have to
cancel your
watch
plans.
it at 9 o'clock on Sunday night.
Yeah.
But, like, with Daredevil, I can't watch it before 9 o'clock on Tuesday night.
Yeah.
Like they drop their episodes, at a specific time of the day. But again, I can watch it anytime after that.
But I think just in general, even when I say people watch TV differently, I don't know. I feel like most of the time if I'm sitting down to watch TV, it's very planned.
Yeah.
Like it's very calculated
Mhm.
time that
Mhm.
I'm sitting down to watch a show.
Yeah.
Like, okay, cool. I have this little bit of time to just chill. You want to watch a show? Like
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
type of situation.
Yeah.
Or even kind of at nighttime, but sometimes at night I don't even like getting into anything too
The
new or crazy because I might fall asleep.
the thing to me about the way it used to be though is you would schedule your day
Around the
around
show.
the TV show. It was like, no, I got to be home by 8 because the show's on
Oh
and I want
yeah.
to watch it.
Yeah, that's true.
Like for me, that was 24. 24, I think, came on. Was it 8 or 9 on Mondays? I think it was when it was on.
Yeah.
And it was like, no, I got to be home. I got to be home to watch that. So
Yeah.
now it's like, oh yeah, that new episode dropped. I'm gonna watch that sometime today.
There's even those other shows like the Dancing with the Stars and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Are those still on? It used to be a big thing back in the day, but I don't know if they're even still a thing, but
Yeah, I feel like with like
those were stuff that fizzled out, like American Idol.
yeah, American Idol. I was gonna say The
Uh,
Voice was another
The
one.
Voice.
Dancing with the Stars, like you said. I feel like they were shows that like the first couple of seasons were interesting.
The
And
Masked one.
the Masked one, I just don't get.
The where
That
they
one
dressed
actually
as-
really gets on my nerves. I'm very anti-Masked Singer because the previews for it drive me crazy because they show the people who are the I don't know, the hosts, I guess.
Mhm.
I don't know if you'd call them the hosts or whatever, the celebrities that are on it, and they they will like their reactions to like who's in the mask are like so over the top and phony that it just drives me out of my mind. Like they're screaming at the top of their lungs, like, "Oh my gosh, who could it be? Oh my, I can't. Like, come on, it's just somebody in a mask. Calm down." And that whole concept to me is just weird. But I think like the first couple of seasons of like American Idol were good, and what was the other one that we just talked about? Dancing with the Stars. Even the first couple seasons. When I first heard
Mhm.
about that one, I thought, who's gonna watch that? And then it turned out to be like actually, I don't want to see famous people dancing with stuff.
No, but I think that's what you're saying. All of those shows are shows that in the beginning, first couple seasons, it was look because and also with those kind of shows though too, where they have the celebrities. After a while, I think they just also start running out of celebrities.
Yeah, yeah. Like the first couple seasons,
Good celebrities,
there were
at least.
celebrities. Like the first season, maybe there were like minor celebrities. The
Yeah.
next couple of seasons, there were probably some better celebrities because they saw it and were like, "Oh, I want to be on that show." And then it got to the point where you're like,
They got
"No,
like JoJo Siwa on there.
yeah, like no, no, this guy was in like an episode
Yeah.
of The Office once. He's
Yeah.
or like I think Tucker Carlson when he was at Fox News was on it
Oh
at
yeah,
one
they
point.
just start
Yeah,
getting like the
like
news anchors.
right.
Mass
I like
Singer, the
I don't have a
first
problem with
season,
Tucker Carlson, but like
first season of Mass Singer, they had T-Pain. That was
yeah,
pretty nice.
yeah,
Like
that
that
was
was
yeah.
cool.
There you go.
But then,
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of just
It gets yeah. I think it's too they wear the concept out. Like the
yeah.
concept at first is unique, and then it becomes it gets to a point with shows, especially like Dancing with the Stars, where it's just like you've just this has jumped the shark.
Yeah.
You know, it's jumped the shark and then it's jumped back over the shark again. You know, it's enough.
Or speaking of
Let's move on.
Shark Tank. Shark Tank actually is kind of a cool one when
Shark
you find
Tank.
I'll
Yeah,
find clips of Shark Tank. That's really cool to me
yeah.
because they the
Go ahead.
fact that Scrub Daddy
Oh yeah, yeah. Some of
got
those,
discovered on
some of
there.
those are neat. Some of those are
That's
neat
pretty
things that
cool.
originate on there. Though I saw this. You mentioned Shark Tank, and it made me think of this. I think it was on Instagram. I saw a video that somebody had done, and I
Mhm.
don't know if they did it with AI or they just edited it themselves, but they edited a scene from Tommy Boy in the Shark Tank, and it was done so well that you've seen Tommy Boy,
I
right?
haven't seen
Oh,
it.
how can you can't even understand the
I don't
references.
even understand the joke.
Tommy Boy was with oh gosh. Now I can't think of his name. Oh my gosh.
And I can't help you because I've never
Yeah,
seen
because
Tommy
you've
Boy.
never seen Tommy Boy. Anyway, all right. Well, maybe I'll find that and add it into this. Probably not. That'll be a lot of work. But I'll show you the clip later, and you'll appreciate it.
Yeah, and then okay, and then there's the shows like I mentioned in the beginning, like the My Strange Addiction and what is that one show? A Thousand Ways to Die, I think, or is something
Oh,
like that. Have you ever seen that?
haven't seen that.
It's episodes, and each episode, or they might have like a couple ways in each episode or whatever, but it's people that have died off of just weird things you wouldn't think of. And that's the preface of the episode.
Oh wow.
Like died
Yeah,
off of I don't know.
that's already
Died
a
because they
little
got
too
their
morbid.
toe like stuck in
Yeah,
the
that's already a little too morbid for me to have any interest
But
in.
it's not like it's
because
not
it's
morbid like that. It's just like, oh my god, that's
yeah,
so
but I mean
weird. Like
just because they died and it's a reality show, so it's someone who actually died. For me,
oh
it's
yeah,
a
no,
little,
for
a
sure.
little on the morbid side.
But then there's the My Strange Addiction, and it's somebody on there like, I'm addicted to eating hair out of the shower drain. Like, I go to my friend's house
That's
and I'm just digging.
okay.
I'm in the
So,
bathroom digging in the shower drain.
like, who's watching that though?
That's what
Are
I'm
you
saying.
watching that?
I'm not watching
Okay,
that. I
thank
just
you.
I see the clips of it
Yeah,
on Instagram and stuff, but
I don't understand who's watching
I
that.
can't
I don't.
imagine watching it.
Like, I'm
can't
more
wait to see
worried
the
about the
episode.
person watching it than the person with the weird addiction.
I
You
mean,
know what
I
I
think
mean? Like, there's
no, I think the person watching it is probably just entertainment purposes.
yeah, but again, when I want one of two things. I either want to be, well, three things maybe. I want something that's humorous, that's gonna entertain me that way. Action things, or maybe something that's a little on the scary side.
I
You
think
know,
sometimes people just put TV on for the background
I
noise.
don't want to be grossed out.
Yeah,
That's
no,
my
some
thing.
of them are really gross.
It's like here's another one, Fear Factor. Back in the day,
oh yeah,
like when they would have them eating like giant roaches. Like
that's just because we didn't have good like it was just it was no. The thing is like because I think back then we watched those shows because we didn't have streaming services and we didn't have that many options.
it was
so
just
it was
all
just
that was on. And
yeah, it was like, well, this is what's on TV. Like this is what
I
I
mean,
have
I
to
used
watch.
to like
I can't go on my phone and just watch YouTube
yeah,
or like Instagram.
yeah.
I can't go on to Netflix, say this is boring, and go on to Netflix and watch something.
hmm
So this
You know,
is the best on TV right now.
it's funny though because I'm amazed the number of times where we'll sit down in the evening to watch TV, and it's usually Jay and I that are because your mom will go in the other room and watch whatever she's watching.
Hmm.
She's usually just watching something on her phone, but Jay and I will go and we'll sit down and we have like a decent number of channels. We'll be like,
Hmm.
there is nothing on, and that's based
Yeah.
on the ske TV schedule, what's on right now versus, and
Yeah.
we've got all the streaming services we could put on, whatever movie we want and all that.
Yeah.
But it's just you sit down to watch something and you're like, I want I want something to be presented to me, not
Yeah.
I don't want to have to go, well, what do I feel like watching? And
Yeah.
I have like 3 or 4 different shows that I'm, watching old series that I'm rewatching that I put on at some point in the night because it's like, okay, there's nothing on, let me just throw this on. But
Yeah.
but it's still that whole thing of, but I want something to be like
I don't want to have to go
presented to
through
me.
and like
Yeah,
find something and pick it. That's when
yeah,
I always go on to Netflix, and that's when I would put like Seinfeld on
yeah. I
or
mean, that's when it's
something
good to
like that in the
have like a
background.
couple of things that, yeah, that like the
Like that's my background noise
yeah.
or QVC. If there's something good on
Yeah.
QVC, I
It's
love
for me.
putting
It's
that
always
on.
if there's some sports on, like, oh, Florida won the SEC championship basketball.
Cause
Men's
oh yeah,
basketball won. They
I
won yesterday.
saw y'all text that. I didn't know if it
Yeah.
was basketball or not, but that makes sense.
Yeah. Now they're going to they're going to be a 1 seed in the NCAA tournament. So good luck, Gators.
Chomp chomp.
Chomp chomp.
Anyway,
All right. That's all I have on that. What about you?
yeah, me too. No, that's
Okay.
all I had.
Okay. So our solution is, I don't know, watch more TV or
Or
get better shows.
or
We
put pop the A&M podcast on the
Yeah, that's
TV.
right. When you run out of things to watch, just throw this
We're
on.
always here for
We
you.
have like, uh, well, we're on season 2, and I think this is episode 21. So you can watch at least 21 episodes
So we are
just
now
from season
legal.
2.
We are now legal to drink as
That's
a
right. That's
podcast.
right. After this episode, we can drink on the podcast. So there we go. I think that's not what that means, but anyway. All right.